Bro said you know me, but you don't know me. I agree. I'm tired of repeating this. I want to enjoy talking to you, but you don't think you're going to change. But I don't think you're going to change. Mom said, maybe you don't know how to open up and talk. And I thought, I guess I'll slowly over the next couple of months try different conversations to get you to open up more or approach me differently. But why do I have to try so hard when all you have to do is think different and try different? Don't you want to know everything about your child? Don't you want to feel like you try to don't you want to feel like you try every day to understand the person you brought into the world? You do the same boring, let me tell you, you should do this or be doing this opinion shit. You only say statements or talk about yourself. You rarely ask questions about me, and if you do, it's the same shit like how's school or how's work. Like that's the only thing I care about. Just because I'm doing it doesn't mean that's the only thing I think about or care about. What matters to you, CJ, would be an excellent question. You must not care about having a better relationship with your children or the mother of your children. You abuse the concept of of the payments of your home by being with another family, coming and going as you please, then command obedience to whatever you say when you're here. Mom is fully equal to you as she pays the other half of this house, but you treat her as lesser. You believe you control everything this house offers when you never clean it or attempt to provide more, like trying to like cook for the whole family, asking, hey, what would y'all like to eat for dinner? I'll feed like all of y'all. I just want equality. Sometimes I can do that. So I just want equality. We all just want peace and equality, but you're blocking it. I understand why you're uneasy about strangers, but I don't want to adopt your extreme caution because it blocks my kindness. When I gave away $10,000, I did use all my resources, and I made a big mistake. I talked to mom about it. She was like, maybe if we talked a little bit more, you couldn't have lost it. And I was like, I agree. At that time, she was saying like, you just want to be independent. Like yes, but I still didn't use all my resources. I know some people can be only selfish. This isn't my intention, but if I make choices where like someone steals my identity or everything I own because like I don't have an alarm system or a house or whatever, like I'll accept those choices that led to whatever happened and like keep working in that position. I would also die by a gun before I use it. Like I'm not gonna own a gun like ever in my life. I dislike violence. I'll protect myself with my hands, and I'll protect myself and my loved ones with only my hands. Like, yeah, like I really dislike violence. I'll probably cry if I'm like fighting someone because I don't like it, but I'll do it if I have to. It's entertaining, but we don't need it. Kindness to all in every situation is the first step to making the world more civil. I want to be part of that. So all I'm just asking you, you know, you want like too much and like you just like not like being like a good role model at all. You just think like I could do whatever the fuck I want. So I'm gonna show my kids I could do whatever the fuck I want, and then also tell them to do shit when like they're not even. You're like bitching over the tiniest shit, tiniest shit.
Anyway, I was gonna say,
That's what you're doing all the time.
you just have to be quiet for a little bit. So I said, when you and bro went to breakfast, and he said you always disagree / goes against his desires, I feel the same. Like I dislike saying hate, but when you told me I really shouldn't post a video, smacked your lips, walked away, like whatever, he won't listen. Like you do that often, and I hate it. Like you plant a doubt in my head. You say I take things too hard, but for the most part, when I make mistakes, I think about how I upset you like all the time. And I don't want to make problems for anyone or have anyone dislike my ideas when I'm only trying. And that doubt makes me feel like my ideas aren't good enough or no one will accept them. But I realize like fuck everybody else, like ignore them sometimes. Yes, you made me, but you're part of everyone else. You haven't experienced what I have. You're not me. I need to try my own things, maybe fail, rethink, and try again until I die. You talked about resolving every single issue in person when we feel like it. When we feel it, we talk about resolving every issue in person when we feel it, but you walked away and decided to text me. I really don't like texting. Like I like it, but I really hate it. And I love like face to face like this. Like we were born naked, not with our phones. We can text. I don't have a problem with it, but for big feelings, I want I want to see you and I want you to see me. Like we live together and I don't plan on going anywhere soon. I know you care for me deeply. I care for you deeply. And you want to talk to me every second and be with me every second, and I feel the same. Like I want to talk to you and be with you, and we can die any second. But as I'm aging and experiencing life, I feel like everyone is a child. Like I feel like your mom, like dad's dad, or your grandma, like all the way up until she died, was still a child because everyone's experiencing their own life for the first time. And I would love it, and I would love you so much more if you can respect me and grow with me. I love Charvid, I love bro, but I didn't want to add additional financial strain by getting a dorm or moving out and putting work on top of the other things I'm doing when I have a place to live. I feel like that's selfish and unnecessary, so I don't leave. But the problem is that I can't enjoy living here to the fullest because of the people who brought me into this world without my choosing. Yes, I'm learning to be grateful for this only life, mind, and body given to me and the countless number of lifespans in the universe. But you make it not just you, but also dad makes it difficult for our relationship to grow, so I can love you to the fullest and be grateful for everything that you've given me. Sometimes I think you're a hypocrite when I tell you my feelings and you say, you know what you need to do it. Like, you're, like, why aren't you doing it? Or when I ask you, how can I be a person for our relationship to be stable? And you and dad say, you could do this, you can do that, which is okay. Like, I asked y'all, like, to tell me those things, but y'all never asked me, like, what can I do to better our relationship, CJ? I want to have the best relationship with y'all, but it feels like I'm the only one thinking, trying new things. I want everyone to be happy and comfortable, but I feel like a bitch always complying to your every demand, even though, like, it's only in this house and only I and you know. But it feels like the majority of our conversations are comments on my actions that y'all dislike. Sometimes they're mistakes, but they're also small things that I don't need to hear or apologize for all the time. It seems that the only way I won't hear these things is if I just stay in my room and don't interact with anything outside of it, because it feels like I just have the potential to do something and make y'all say unnecessary things. So I should just be in my room and just focus on doing work like editing or exercising in there. I know I'm of age to contribute to humanity, but you and dad are 20 years older than me. Anyone can do whatever they want, but I believe a person, even a year more of life experience, is supposed to be a role model to anyone that's younger. And I'm being a terrible role model, but I feel like an example is like taking care of our bodies, making sure we have enough money to the point where we're not worried about it anymore, or not being upset in conversations because we understand that nothing beneficial comes from it, or doing something that no one has ever done before. These things we learn through life experience, but we've all have, me, you, dad, become complacent and are only surviving when life is so short. And in the timeline of humanity, the creation of the earth, the universe, like, yes, it's a lot to think about, but I feel like life is just constantly more growing physically and mentally, and more creating and giving. I've asked you before to change with me. Living and growing through the hardships of change would be so much more enjoyable and easy when I have an accountability partner, and I would like you to be my accountability partner. I like dad to be my accountability partner, but I don't think that he'd want to change. And all I want is for you to respect me and my wishes as your child, as a person that's equal to all other living things. Like, you can't tell Kennedy what to do. You can't tell me what to do. No one. I realize this. Like, I can't tell anyone what to do as well. I do that as well, but I'm trying not to. Like, and I feel like sometimes your advice or your opinion to a person having completely different experiences might just cause them unease when you can support them. At the end of the day, I'm just asking if you'd like to change with me. And I didn't want to say this at first. I was just gonna wait because I feel like it was selfish and rude for me to say it at this time. But I felt like more things just kept happening, and part of what I wanted to say were in the things that kept happening, so I just felt like I should probably say it so I could force myself to stop thinking about it and do other things. But I really don't want this to be like, I really don't want you to think like I'm just asking you to do so much. Like, I don't want you to think like I'm upset at you or mad at you, like I never am. And I don't want to be in any situation. I really just want to be like grateful to you and like love you like all the time and like just talk to you all the time and just have a good relationship with you. But like, yeah, those were just some of the things that I felt like I never really got to say. And so I decided to just write it all down so like in one concise thing instead of like doing it like all over the place, because no one can understand that. But thank you for listening. That's all I have to say. You didn't have anything to say?
Vicky.
What do I say?
The cheese.
You're literally telling me I can't tell you.
The cheese.
You're telling me I can't tell Kennedy nothing. I can't tell you nothing. That's. I understood that. Right?
It's like,
So it's like my advice, my suggestion, my opinion